I'm jacked.
I'm jacked to the test.
Looks as good as on paper. We're in the kill zone, pal. We're locked and loaded.
Hi there guys, welcome back into another session. Approaching the Bitcoin halving, just over 30 hours until the Bitcoin halving currently. These clocks do tend to differ a little bit just on Watcher Guru at the minute. I think it's just due to the data provided by them. Want to have an unbiased look at the price action today, have a quick look at where we are and where we're possibly going. What do we expect from the BTC halving? In the short term, probably a little bit of volatility. I do remember watching the Bitcoin price action halving last time. Not much to say, to be honest. Was trading it, watching as some nerds were having a Bitcoin halving party on YouTube, and their shock and awe as price dropped 5-10% in a 4-hour candle. It was probably just grabbing some liquidity as people were trying to long the highs, expecting an instant rocket ship up from the halving. Not going to happen. Okay, so let's have an unbiased look today at what we can possibly expect in the short term. Okay, so quick look at where we are. Been keeping up to date on Twitter, obviously posting a few charts, post these in the TRDR console as well. We're coming into the lows. We wanted a little bit more demand, obviously. I think there's a lot of work to do for Bitcoin as we float from the demand zone. Double diamond lows with volume bull divs and flat open interest. Execution key in these zones, okay? And if you've not been following on from these YouTube shorts, I'll just show you those quickly. I've been doing some quick YouTube shorts as much as I can. Just posting areas to keep a lookout for what's happening on price action at the time, okay? So that one in the Discord was saying basically, look for those 60k levels with some bullish volume divergences and a bit more bid. And this one was just saying any execution down into those low 60k areas should get rewarded quite nicely. So subscribe, hit notifications on those if you would be so kind. Keep updated with some data. Yesterday, obviously, came down and had a nice little liquidity grab. I think we did actually just strike below 60k on a few exchanges as the order book depth was hitting 1 billion. Well over 1 billion actually. Aggregated order book depth in the books, very, very nice. Open interest newt and funding was pretty settled there, and I think we're flirting in negative territory as well, just as funding was hit down there. So, you know, let's have a look at what we're going to see now. What I want to do is no real classic TA levels from TradingView today. I just want to have a look at some pure raw data and order flow in the TRDR console. Let's go and have a look at that now. Right, so here we are guys, just looking at a 4-hour structure, to be honest. Higher time frame structures at the minute for me personally. I think we can all agree that on a 15-minute and 1-hour time frame we are downtrending here. We're downtrending into the range lows of a larger 4-hour range auction structure. Daily chart, weekly chart still look okay, alright. So double diamond lows coming into the lows. As we've seen, we've got some volume bullish divergences as we hit big depth in the order books, okay? So not seen since that 61k level. Open interest absolutely wiped out there, okay? And yeah, as I say, funding just slightly flirting with negative territory there again, okay? So range lows, I don't think this is going to be really easy now. I don't know if we're going to get a big V-shape back up recovery. Probably not. What tends to happen is, and you can see it's getting a little bit slower in the movements. So our initial push down there before we even form this range, you get a big rocket ship back up. Next one, you come down, you put in a higher low, and then you go, and then you basically start to hit these supply zones that confirm your local top as they distribute the local top in the supply, okay? Coming back down. Does this one need a little bit more time here than these two did? Yeah, I would maybe say so. Okay? So, you know, it's a good area to get risk on. Why do we say that? We've got depth of book, liquidity in the books got absolutely wiped out, open interest low. Looking okay, and it's easy invalidation down here as well. I don't think it's going to be easy though. I think our first area of contention's probably going to be around here in this kind of like 65 to 66k level. That's your weekly open. You've got a daily NPOC up there as well, okay? But you don't even really need to know that. Just look left, draw a line, and that's going to be your resistance. I personally think when we do conquer that zone, that this top side area where the all-time highs are, you know, kind of like from 73 and down to 71, I think most distribution's been done down there. So if we can push up, I think we get obviously a bigger expansion. I do believe that. I think all the supply's gone here. You know, less resistance, basically, area of less resistance. I think we'll just push onwards and upwards, okay? But what we need to do is we need to obviously look at some order flow in here, which we'll go do in a second, and just confirm this area as a low. If we can't confirm this area as a low, what happens? We need to auction a little bit lower. I know that sounds really obvious and, you know, a little bit easy to say that, but I think if you've got some risk on exposure from here, it's easily managed, okay? Don't just ride it down if price does want to come down a little bit lower. Let yourself get stopped out and just reassess the situation as we go. All right, guys. So let's have a look at those volume bullish divergences as we hit these lows. So 1 hour time frame here. My favored time frame for volume divs, to be honest, for those kind of swing positions. Okay, so diamond. We did get another diamond there as well, but you know, nothing was, the divs weren't really established there. You want almost like a lower low, almost like this double bottom here type thing. And then we're really establishing those divs there, okay? Spot market, not too much to suggest there, but I do like the fact that the open interest is holding low here. It suggested that there's not a lot of contracts pumping back in the market just yet. Not a lot of people are wanting to get risk on right here, right now. Bigger players are, okay? Bigger players are going risk on here, as we can see from the divergences, but a lot and the majority are not pumping contracts back into the books yet. Could just do with funding down a little bit lower. That'd be nice. So maybe if people start to rage short this or something, then funding comes down a little bit, okay? You can see this on the 15-minute chart as well, obviously slightly slower look back, but look at that open interest just hanging around down here, okay? Nice LS ratio cluster down there as well. Nice to see volume just on lower time frame pushing up a little bit here. Does retail continue on lower time frames to short this with expectations of achieving lower prices? That would be nice because that would bring your funding down as well, okay? So that's just something to keep an eye on, but I certainly think this was a nice area to get a little bit of risk on exposure. Let's go and have a look at the exchanges and see what everyone is playing at on our 15-minute chart. So just pushing up a little bit now, but you can see you've still got these resting limit orders here waiting a little bit lower if we do achieve it. As I say, if you've executed from down here, just let yourself get stopped out and reassess. At the minute, we've had some double ratio bid again from Binance Spot, as we can see here, and they're willing to bid this if it drops another 2.5 to 5% again. So that 2.5 to 5% area in this zone, very well bid. Locally, not too much to say at the minute, okay? So Coinbase have been bidding this zone, but prepared to bid it a little bit lower as well. You can see Kraken here as well, they're willing to go for it. Qcoin really bid this level, and a lot of fills in that zone as well. Not sure if that entity down there at the 60k did get filled, but you can see we just wicked a little bit lower. Nothing locally here, but I do expect that from Spot. What you'll see from Spot is generally they'll fill and then they won't tend to chase up immediately. What you'll tend to find is they'll fill, price will rise, and then you'll see these USDT levels start to follow up. That's, you know, that's kind of what we would have wanted back here. Really, you wanted these USDT levels to follow up, and it just wasn't to be. We hit the supply zones and we had to rotate down and find a bid, okay? Interestingly enough, perps market very bid. So you can see here, really well defended level there in the 59,690, 59,700 level. Very nice. So perps really wanted it down there as well. And again, really nice depth of book from the perps market if we do drop a little bit further. Dynamic levels coming in there in the 59k levels again, okay? But if you do start, what you'll tend to see is if this does start to float up, you'll see in this 1 to 2.5% ratio, these guys will just start to bid and chase this up. As I say, don't think it's going to be easy, but, you know, we'll see. We'll see what we get, okay? So nice and easy area to play, I think. I think we are still in a little bit of a risk-on environment. What we'll do is we'll be live later on YouTube. I'll drop a link for that soon. Join us there if you've got any questions regarding the console, any market questions or anything else. Don't ask me too much about the Bitcoin halving because it is what it is. It is what it is, and I'm sure everyone eventually is going to get bored to death with that in the next couple of days. Again, I'm not looking into alts too much at the minute. I think big boy Bitcoin is still the play, but you know, if you are some of these altcoins absolutely got decimated, so we will look at them a little bit more detail on the live session later. Where more often than not, when they do look decimated, is when you want to put a bit of risk on. Okay, so not high leverage, stop dancing with the devil, but maybe a bit of spot exposure, and you could get rewarded. All right, guys. So live in YouTube a little bit later, I will drop a link, and what we're going to do is we're going to have a TRDR screen share live session in the Discord tomorrow as well, because we did that last week. That was really nice, because do like to get some of the other members involved, obviously, and get opinions from people and what everyone's seeing, what everyone's thinking, and that was good last week. A couple of guys in there were saying, you know, obviously spot liquidity is very, very high. Maybe want to take a bit of risk off. What happened at the weekend? We had some harsh drops. Okay, so very, very good and valid opinions from a lot of the guys in there. It's nice to get other opinions from across the market. All right, guys, join us there. Join us in the live. Speak soon. Cheers.
It's a wazzy, it's a woozy, it's a fairy dust.